I like to end on good news whenever I can, and there was a truly incredible medical development on the paralysis front this week when it comes to bioelectronic medicine. Scientists announced that a quadriplegic man is still showing significant, sustained improvements to his physical state several months after his computerized brain implant system was completely deactivated, indicating that these devices did far more than they were supposed to, which is already incredible in itself, but they may have also actually stimulated healing by enabling the nervous system to fundamentally restructure and repair itself through this new technology. Here's what they had to say. The New Scientist reported that the miracle patient is 43-year-old Keith Thomas, who was left paralyzed from the chest down after suffering a severe car accident in 2020. Like all quadriplegics, with no sensation or control over any of his limbs, Mr. Thomas faced a life that would be lived in total dependence on others. But when he participated in a groundbreaking clinical trial in 2023 at the Feinstein Institute for Medical Research, his entire future was put on an entirely new trajectory. He underwent a 15-hour experimental surgery where medical pioneers performed a double neural bypass, placing 5 microelectrodes into the motor and the sensory regions of Mr. Thomas's brain. This cutting-edge system uses AI to decode Mr. Thomas's brain signals for movement, and then it relays those signals to electronic forearm splints, which trigger muscle contractions, allowing him to move his arms. In the opposite direction, 3D printed devices for his hands have sensors in them that gather feedback, which is sent back electronically, delivering the information to his brain and creating the feedback of sensory touch. This incredible advancement allowed Mr. Thomas to move independently again, making daily miracles out of the movements that we all take for granted every day, such as being able to drink from a cup by himself, being able to scratch his face when it itches, and even being able to hold fragile objects, all of which he was able to do because of this sci-fi level advancement. But to top it all off, the story would have been incredible right there. But to top it all off, the part that was a completely unexpected breakthrough occurred by accident. As part of an attempt to evaluate the long-term impacts of this still experimental treatment, which they must do, Mr. Thomas's system was turned off for 4 weeks. And then, unfortunately, there was a fire in the building which turned this 4-week hiatus into a 3-month-long blackout. But to the astonishment of the scientists involved, Mr. Thomas's condition did not regress as you would expect it to do. His body retained the newfound ability to move, and it retained its touch sensation, even after being entirely disconnected from the computer that has been implanted in his brain. In fact, Mr. Thomas's condition is continuing to heal and improve on its own now. He can move his individual fingers with increased precision and is reporting feeling a distinct tingling sensation in his wrist when physical pressure is applied there. The scientists believe that his continued recovery is a direct result of the brain's neuroplasticity, meaning its capacity to create entirely new pathways to circumvent the damaged areas. by reinforcing and strengthening the neural networks that survived the damage, this incredible technology appears to have done much more than it was intended to do. It has apparently triggered a permanent remodeling of Mr. Thomas's nervous system. It has stimulated the new pathways, and apparently the brain has decided to keep using them even without the device. While the scientific community is obviously celebrating this incredible milestone as the massive leap forward that it is for the new field of neuroprosthetics, scientists are also cautioning people not to get too carried away yet, because these results have not been duplicated in other patients at this point, and one patient by himself is not scientifically representative of everyone. Due to the fact that spinal cord injuries vary drastically from individual to individual, the clinical trials will need to be expanded to a much larger pool of patients to prove whether this neural rewiring can be duplicated in anyone else. But in the meantime, the results for Mr. Thomas have changed his life. He had this to say: "I can now scratch my face, wipe my eyes independently. The technology has given me back both connection and sense of self. I am so happy for you, man. And for everyone else, the completely unexpected recovery that Mr. Thomas has made has opened up an incredibly bright horizon of possibilities for millions of others who are currently living with the life-changing condition of severe paralysis. People, we live in some unbelievably amazing and miraculous times. Take a moment for gratitude and awe that out of all of humanity, you are privileged to witness these times." Thank you for listening to this week's episode. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, I would ask you to please help me build this podcast into a success by clicking the like and follow buttons, because that is what does the trick in making these things successful, and it doesn't cost anything to do. And I hope most of all that you come back again next week. Until then, have a good week, my friends.